Welcome to one of the fastest growing sports YouTube channels out there, Gold and Blue Dude. Let's talk about what happened last week and what's coming up this week. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me again, Gold and Blue Dude. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I do college football videos every single day. Don't forget about my score prediction contest. Every week I pick out one game, and I have my Patreon members guess the score prediction. Whoever comes the closest wins $20 every single week. All you have to do is go over to my Patreon page, join my Patreon page, and you're eligible. Blue members get one guess prediction per week. Gold members get 2 guess predictions per week. And champion members get 4 guess predictions per week. Congratulations to Jay Smith. You won the score prediction contest for week 3. Game for the score prediction contest for week 4 is going to be number 7 Texas A&M versus number 16 Arkansas in Arlington. And the tiebreaker will be number 12 Notre Dame taking on number 18 Wisconsin in Chicago. So once you join my Patreon page, don't forget to email me your picks. The new AP Top 25 is out. And what a crazy year it's been. A lot of movement this year, not a lot of consistency. There were 3 teams that got knocked out of the top 25. Number 24 Miami is out of the top 25. They got beat by Michigan State at home. Actually, they got whooped. Number 19 Arizona State, they're out of the polls. They lost on the road to number 23 BYU. Then my favorite one, number 15 Virginia Tech, all the way out of the AP Top 25 because they went on the road to Morgantown and lost to West Virginia. Here's what the new AP Top 25 looks like. We start at the top. Number 1 Alabama stays the same. They're 3-0. They got 59 first place votes. They went on the road to number 11 Florida and pulled out a squeaker 31-29. This surprised a lot of people, including myself. I thought Alabama was going to blow out Florida. I was wrong. Maybe Alabama isn't invincible like everybody thought. Their next game is a home game against Southern Miss. Shouldn't have any problems there. Number 2 stays the same, Georgia, with 3 first place votes. They're also 3-0. They get a blowout win against rival South Carolina at home 40-13, but didn't cover just like I predicted. Their next game at Vanderbilt. Number 3, Oregon jumps 1 spot. They're 3-0. They blew out Stony Brook 48-7, and their next game a home game against Arizona. Number 4, Oklahoma falls 1 spot. They're 3-0. They pulled off a close win over Nebraska 23-16. A lot of people also thought this was going to be a blowout. Their next game, a home game against West Virginia, which all of a sudden looks a lot more interesting than what it did. Number 5 stays the same, Iowa. They're 3-0. They get a win over Kent State 30-7. Next game, a home game against Colorado State. Number 6, Penn State. They jump 4 spots. They're 3-0. Big home win against number 22 Auburn 28-20. Their next game, a home game against Villanova. Number 7 stays the same, Texas A&M. They're 3-0. They blank New Mexico 34-0. Next game, the neutral game against number 16 Arkansas in Arlington. Number 8 stays the same, Cincinnati. They're 3-0. I thought this was a great win at Indiana 38-24. They get a bye week before they go to Notre Dame. I thought Cincinnati should have jumped at least 1 spot. They're undervaluing that road trip to Indiana. That was a good win. Number 9, Clemson falls 3 spots. They're 2-1. They get a win over Georgia Tech, but barely, 14-8. Next game, a tough road test at NC State. Clemson might be on upset alert. Dispatch, put out an APB on Clemson's offense. It's been missing since the beginning of the season. We're starting to get worried. Number 10, Ohio State falls 1 spot. They're 2-1. They get a win over Tulsa 41-20. Don't cover just like I predicted. Next game, a home game against Akron. Number 11 stays the same, Florida 2-1. A hard-fought loss against number 1 Alabama at home 31-29. So they weren't punished for that. They looked pretty good. Next game, a home game against Tennessee. Number 12 stays the same, Notre Dame 3-0. A win over Purdue 27-13. They covered just like I predicted. Next game, that neutral game against number 18 Wisconsin in Chicago. The weird thing about Notre Dame is they did the same thing last year at the beginning of the season. Remember when they barely beat a bad Louisville team 12-7? I had written them off. What happened? Had an undefeated season and went to the playoffs. Number 13, Ole Miss. They jumped 4 spots. They're 3-0. They beat Tulane 61-21, a blowout just like I predicted. They're going into a bye week. Number 14, Iowa State stays the same, 2-1. A blowout win at UNLV 48-3. Next game, a road trip to Baylor. Number 15, BYU still undefeated, 3-0. They jump 8 spots with the home win against number 19 Arizona State 27-17. That's 3 straight wins against Pac-12 opponents. Next game, a home game against South Florida. Number 16, Arkansas. They jump 4 spots. They're 3-0. A good win over Georgia Southern 45-10. I was wrong about that spread pick. They did cover. Their next game, the neutral game against number 7 Texas A&M in Arlington. That game has become super important all of a sudden. Thanks to Texas laying an egg and Arkansas beating the snot out of them, that Texas A&M Arkansas game is a very important game now. So we all appreciate that, Texas. Thank you for sucking on that day. Well, you suck all the time, but you especially sucked that day. Number 17, Coastal Carolina. They actually fall one spot. They're undefeated 3-0 with the road win at Buffalo 28-25. Next game, a home game against UMass. Number 18 stays the same. Wisconsin 1-1. This was their bye week. Their next game, neutral game against number 12 Notre Dame in Chicago. Number 19, Michigan, still looking good. 3-0, jumped 6 spots with a blowout win over Northern Illinois 63-10. Next game, a home game against Rutgers. Do I dare utter the words that Michigan might have a shot against Ohio State this year in the Big House? Michigan looking really good. Ohio State not looking good at all. Should Michigan fans start getting their hopes up for that game now? Number 20, another surprise team, Michigan State, also undefeated 3-0. They were non-ranked last week. They get a win on the road at number 24, Miami, just like I predicted, 38-17. Next game, a home game against Nebraska. Number 21 stays the same, North Carolina 2-1. They beat Virginia 59-39. At halftime, Virginia was winning, but North Carolina exploded in the second half. Next game, a road trip to Georgia Tech. Number 22, Fresno State. What did I tell y'all? I told y'all Fresno State is a good team. They are 3-1. They were non-ranked. They went on the road and beat number 13 UCLA 40-37, just like I predicted. Their next game is a home game against UNLV. Look out for Fresno State in the Mountain West. Number 23, Auburn. They fall one spot, just one spot. They're 2-1. They lost on the road at number 10 Penn State 28-20 in spite of the refs making Penn State punt on third down. Yeah, that really happened. In the first half, the refs really did that at Penn State. The officiating in that game was terrible. Auburn's next game, a home game against Georgia State. Number 24, UCLA. They fall 11 spots. They're 2-1 with that home loss to Fresno State 40-37. I was right about that. Their next game, a road trip to Stanford. And finally, number 25, Kansas State. They're 3-0. They were non-ranked. They get a win over a Nevada team who was 2-0 and had a win over Cal. This is a pretty good win for Kansas State. They win 38-17. Their next game at Oklahoma State. So I predicted that the winner of the Kansas State-Nevada game should get ranked. And that's exactly what happened. Kansas State got ranked. Then that next game at Oklahoma State. If Oklahoma State beats Kansas State, the Cowboys will get ranked. So that's a game to keep your eyes on. A lot of craziness in week 3. I have no reason to expect anything else but more craziness in week 4. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.